Hello, I'm Scott Polkey here with Joey Hart ahead of his fight against Chris Mixan. How are you doing today?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. And how are you feeling ahead of this fight?
I'm feeling amazing. Training's been going good, and yeah, we're less than 2 weeks out now, so getting excited.
Exactly. And you are fighting out of Minnesota, is that correct?
That's right.
And that's where the card is. That must be great.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's cool. My last fight being at the Apex, being in Vegas, and then it's not like public, like not anybody can just go. So this one being like a hometown thing, not my hometown, but home
Yeah.
state and close by, people can come and watch. It's awesome. So I'm excited to be at Mystic Lake again.
And obviously it is with LFA, which in itself, big organization. However, it's also on their 200th card. How much did that feel good to know that they feel like you're that good to be on a card of this importance?
Yeah, it's awesome. I love LFA. I fought for them since I was an amateur.
Yeah.
I think I've had like overall like maybe 6, 7 fights for them. 2-0, 2-0 as a pro for LFA. So this will be my third time as a professional fighting for them. And yeah, my last time at Mystic Lake, fighting for them went pretty well. So yeah, I'm excited to be on this historic 200th show of theirs.
And then obviously, like you're saying, your last fight was in Vegas. It was in the Contender Series against Benjamin Bennett. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way, losing by split decision. How did you feel like that fight went personally for you?
Yeah, it was good experience for sure. Like fighting someone that high of a level, out of a good gym, with like smart game plans and strategy and all that, and just a high level opponent. So it was cool. It was really close, obviously. So that I feel like those are the fights you learn the most from. Those close fights, not just running somebody over. Knocking someone out in the first round. You don't learn a whole lot about yourself. So it was good. It was a fun experience. I can actually say that I did have fun, like in the fight. And obviously, I I did better. I wish I was in the UFC now, but I feel like I can write that with this next fight.
Exactly. And did Dana White or that, did they come up to you after the fight, give you any advice? Did they say anything?
No, I didn't get to talk to Dana, unfortunately, because yeah, pretty much as soon as the fight was over, I had to go see the doctor, had to like get some cuts glued shut, and then they shuttle you back to the hotel. Um, so no, didn't talk to them. But I mean, all the like staff, all the UFC people that I did deal with at the Apex, they were all really cool. They were all like high on my performance and felt like I'd be a shoe in for next season of Contender Series. So, just got to win this fight.
And did you feel like you didn't just want to settle for a place on next year's Contender Series? You wanted to get back into the game, get a fight, and prove that you don't need the Contender Series. You are good enough to be in the UFC outright.
100%. Yeah, no, I would if I could avoid. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was honored to be on that show, like being on ESPN, being
Yeah.
everything that came with it was amazing. But if I could avoid that whole show, and just get to the UFC because that's where I believe I belong. I believe I'm on that level. Like, and the guy I'm about to fight, I believe is a UFC level guy too. So beating him will just show the level I'm on. But yeah, if I could just avoid the that and just like even a short notice thing, get a short notice call. I stay ready, and I've accepted short notice opportunities before. So yeah, I just got to win this fight, and that'll really put me in a position to make stuff happen.
And do you feel like having that experience, being at the apex, hearing those other UFC fighters being high on the performance, even though it didn't go your way, knowing that you are going to be on that short list for a short notice fight, to feel like that keeps your head in the game even more and pushes you to keep being ready each day?
Yeah, no, for sure, it's motivating. You have to find like things to push you, and that's a big thing. Having knowing like it was a big disappointment, because I'm in my head I was so sure that I'm going to win the fight, going in. Obviously
Yeah.
you build up your belief in yourself, and by the time it's fight night, like you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to win. So than like walking away from it and not being having to go back to everyday life. And I'm not in the UFC like we thought. It's like it's an adjustment. So then yeah, I just feel like kind of. Sorry, what was your original question?
Um, can't can't actually remember. I'll just skip forward. Obviously your next opponent, Chris Mixan, he's been in the PFL and he's had two fights in there. Do you feel like that just shows the level of the opponent? Is that he has been on the big stage, might not be the UFC, but he's been on the big stage and he's been able to get the victories. So it just
For
shows the
sure.
level which he is at.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like you said, 2-0 in the PFL. That's a big deal. He's fought good opponents and he's beat good opponents. So I definitely respect his level of skill, and I feel like it's the same as the last fight. I felt like
Yeah.
that guy was really good, and it made me really good. Like I showed a lot that I hadn't previously, and this will be the same, but even to a greater extent. So yeah, I'm excited to fight Chris.
And obviously you're not going to give out too much before the fight night, but how do you see like this fight going?
I see it going well for me. I think it's going to be exciting, honestly, for the fans. It's the I think from the lineup I've seen, I think we're the ones right before the triple title fight gets started. Three title fights in as the main
Yeah.
fights, but we'll be right before that. So yeah, no, I think, and that's for a reason. I think we're going to be one of the best fights on the card. Two strikers. Of course, we can mix it up. We can do everything, but two guys who most of our victories have come through violent striking. I think, yeah, I think it's a great fight for the fans, the home Minnesota fans. It's going to be awesome. And for myself, yeah, I think I'm gonna break them down. I think I'm gonna control them, and just eventually find a finish, whether it's early or whether I got to go like to the third round. But I just think at some point I'm gonna break them down and finish them.
Exactly. And you talk about violence, you definitely bring that. Six victories, all by knockout. That must be a good feeling to have that streak going.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think it's good advertisement. If you book me, it's gonna be an exciting fight.
And I know this time in the LFA 200 card, you'll be able to add another one and secure that shot into the UFC. Is there anything that you are wanting to add into this, or anyone you're wanting to shout out?
I guess just all my training partners have been pushing me. We got guys the same night. Unfortunately, we won't be at the same venue, so we have like half our team fighting in a different place for a different organization. So like Derek Benoit, you got Jesse, you got Ash. These guys have all been in the room with me pushing hard. Augustine, who just fought, of course. And then Coach Brock, Coach Angel, my coach Jesse Garza, who's been working on my boxing with me. Just everyone who's been pushing me in the room, showing up and giving me good rounds.
And like you're saying that not everyone, your team's gonna be a bit split up. Not all you guys are fighting on the same venue. How do you guys control of who brings who to the arenas?
Yeah, that is something we had to kind of work out. So my coach Angel won't actually be in my corner for this one because he's got to be at the other venue
Yeah.
since we got those three guys fighting. Yeah, just kind of talking, working things out. It's not a huge. It wasn't very hard to figure out. Just someone's got to be there, someone's got to be here. It doesn't change a whole lot. We're still in the room, like everyone's still in the room together. So as far as the coaching teams for the night, it kind of is what it is.
And did you make any like changes to your training since that last fight?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I would say, the wrestling deficiency that was in that fight, like I had to address that, and just a little more urgency. I think was the big thing. It lit a fire under me, like knowing that stopping, when one judge gives me it and two judges go the other way, and then
Yeah.
it's like this round was yours, that round was his, knowing that stopping one additional takedown could have been the difference between being in the UFC and not. It's like it's not hard to find motivation, to stop stop takedowns in practice and whatnot, and be more urgent about getting to your feet. So there's that, the obvious stuff. Even my striking though, like trying to get better at the stuff I've been doing good at. adding things here and there, working on my boxing, and just developing further.
And do you feel like Benjamin has proven to be your toughest test, or do you feel like there has been another fight that does become that toughest test?
Mm, well, to this point, I mean, I'm 6-2. I'd say my other loss was definitely not close. Like this one was a good fight. It was a good close fight. My first loss, it was like a huge grappling gap to where I just wasn't on the level for that one, and it was basically just surviving the whole time, the grappling. But that one, so that was like a 30-27 type unanimous, just getting beat up thing. So I mean that was a tougher fight, and but it wasn't as competitive to where this was tough. Like it was like tooth and nail. It was back and forth. It was very like gritty and just tooth and nail. So they're both, I guess, different tough experiences.
Well, I know you're going to be able to put on a show against Chris Mixon, get that stoppage victory once again, and be able to secure that spot in the UFC.
Of course, yeah, that's the goal. So smash this dude and get onto the UFC 2025.
Exactly. I can't wait to see you get that UFC call up as well. Thank you for coming on.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.